time flies, and it's already over 6 years for me in this situation, and I don't know, God knows how long it's going to take to be solved. And I just feel that my life is slipping away from me, and I'd like to have a life. I'd like to have a family. I'd like to have a career like any other human being.
Imagine being a prisoner in a country, unable to leave and unable to live a normal life. Imagine being forcibly separated from your family, living life in the shadows, afraid of authority.
I don't know where I'm coming, where I'm going, if I'm staying, if I'm not staying. All I feel I have to do is to survive.
I've been here for 14 years now. I have a wife and 3 kids, and I still don't have any rights.
I'm living a double life. So I'm one person from 9 to 5, and completely a different person after I finish work.
You feel you've been imprisoned within the country. You can't go anywhere. You're like literally trapped.
Cannot sleep. I'm quite depressed.
There are at least 500,000 irregular migrants in the UK today, and it would take 25 years to deport them all. That would cost billions of pounds. It's just not going to happen. Many people can't return home for fear of persecution, or worse.
There was a political thing happening back home. I was scared, and I felt London is my refuge. I had friends here. I feel safe in London. All my adult life has been in London, so on so many levels, I do feel like a Londoner, and I do feel like it's my city.
1 in 100 Britons is an irregular migrant or asylum seeker. Take a look around you. Why do we treat these people like strangers when they behave like citizens? They're allowed to stay while their application is reviewed, but they can't work legally, and they have no citizens' rights. They are in limbo, and we keep them in limbo.
I've been living in this country for like over 5 years, and I don't really feel like a Londoner. I do what a Londoner does, and I follow the rules, but at the end of the day, you don't have any rights, because even if you pay taxes, you are not able to enjoy all the things that other people can.
It's not in me to do something that would be against the law. I want to live in dignity. I want to contribute. I want to be a good citizen. You know, I've tried to do it the way the law is here, requires me to do it. I've tried to argue my case.
These people may be termed illegal immigrants, but they want to do the right thing. All they want is to live a decent life like you and me.
People call them illegals, but how can a person be illegal? What a terrible thing to call a human being. They're living outside the law, but that doesn't mean they're criminals.
My partner has been in Britain as an overstayer since 1999. We have been together for 3.5 years. Would very much like to marry, but we're unable to do so. He's worried about putting himself in a situation where he might get caught and deported. And we feel as if we're living in a twilight world.
It's very hard for someone like myself in my situation to maintain a serious relationship with someone. My situation is very unstable. I don't know if I'm staying in this country and for how long.
We can't make plans for the future. We are struggling to survive in the present, and it's very difficult really to see a way forward.
If my father dies, I can't go back home for his funeral.
I have a friend from Iraq who's been in this country for 4 years now. I'm working illegally under a different name, paying national insurance contributions and tax, and can't even have a life-saving operation. Every day he's living in fear of deportation, goes to the Home Office to sign his name and doesn't know if he's coming back again.
In school it's difficult to be helping a child who one day is there and the next day isn't, and you find they've been deported. It's very sad for everybody when suddenly their friends are no longer there.
We're talking about ordinary people, many of whom have been here for years and become part of our society. They haven't travelled halfway around the world to go on benefits. Would you?
When London won the Olympics, I was one of the first people who jumped up and down. When England plays football, I'm the first one who puts an England shirt and goes to the pub.
Coming to London was one of the greatest moves of my life.
I'm here to contribute to the society like you do, not to live off the government or of your money or of your taxes, not to take your job. I want to pay taxes. I want to be like any other citizen.
I love London.
We can't simply remove 500,000 people. They're here, they've made new lives, they've put down roots in our community.
So this is what we should do. Allow people who have been here for 4 years or more a 2-year work permit. And then, if they can present good employer and character references and pass an English test, they should be allowed to stay. They should be welcomed.
It's about bringing the law into sync with reality.
This is the right thing to do, and there is just no other option.
They're hardworking, and they're some of the best workers we have.
If I was given the opportunity to have citizenship in this country, I can start building my life rather than being in a limbo, not knowing what's going to happen to me tomorrow.
This idea works. It's worked in other European countries and in the United States too.
This isn't going to flood our country with new migrants. We believe in controlling our borders.
This proposal balances the right to migrate with a country's right to regulate its borders. It's not about letting more people in, it's not about weakening our borders, it's about recognising the contribution of those who are already here and have been here for many years. It's about giving them the legal rights which will enable them to have the kind of human dignity that the rest of us take for granted.
It's common sense.
Taking people out of limbo and letting them and the country move on.
We call it strangers into citizens.